Well, hopefully I'm live and hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Hey, here in the past day or so, I posted a video, um, pre recorded video, about some information that I found out about the Stagecoach Inn. A gentleman had told me about some stuff that, quite honestly, I can't find anything to back it up other than this person swears to me that his grandfather's grandfather had kind of passed down this legend of a robbery that had to do with a stagecoach that went to the Stagecoach Inn there in Ida Grove. Now, I have, and this is a really old book. I don't know if you can see it or not. This is a really old book. Um, in fact, it was given to my mother-in-law from the mayor of Ida Grove. It's the historical collection of Ida County, and it was written by uh, Dr. G.C. Moorhead. That'd be Giles Moorhead. This would be the son of Doctor, or I should say, Judge Moorhead. Um, it's a little subtitle here I've always found really kind of interesting. It says Ghosts of the Past, Mount Ida, 1864. I don't know why he used ghosts in the past, but it's just a little subtitle. But I've went through this entire book. I've read it from front to back, back to front. Again, it's pretty fragile. Talks about the early prairie fires in that location. Talks about the first death that happened in Ida County uh, when the railroad had shown up finally. It talks about a lot of things, but it doesn't talk about the stagecoach robbery that happened uh, sometime in the mid 1800s, probably around 18. I'm guessing, of course, 1868 in that era. I'm assuming, but supposedly, um, in fact, there's a little map in here that is really interesting. Um, you really can't see it too good, but it's a little diagram map. I'll have to show you something. This is Battle Creek. This is a little town just up the ways from the inn where a battle took place with the Sioux Indians and some surveyors that were slaughtered. But that's beside the point. But the cool thing is there's nothing in this book that indicates anything about a bank robbery, and that's how close to the vest a lot of the historical society members are about anything tragic that went on. Now, I made mention that I talked to somebody who was clairvoyant, who was able to see things that occurred, it was Dr. Rebecca Foster, and it was before the show that I had here this past week when me and Rebecca talked about the haunted YMCA, and we were talking about a little bit of the history about the Stagecoach Inn, waiting for the show to come on. We had like 10 minutes to burn, and I told her about this, and she just kind of just this blank stare came upon her face, and she says, that's real. That that really happened." And I thought, "Really?" I said, "Give me some details." And so she did, and she started talking about stuff that nobody would know the lay of the land like somebody who's lived there. She explained little like vantage points I could look through and at that would guide me to a point where a treasure, gold, may have been buried. Now, if I would have known this back in the day, obviously I would have been doing some EVPs, trying to contact, if possible, of course, this individual that died after robbing the stagecoach. See, what happened was, is he robbed the stagecoach. He took this satchel of gold, made his escape, but he got shot in the process. So he did finally make his way to the inn where he was rendered some kind of aid. I mean, it was the only hospital in the entire county of what then was just called Ida territory. Um, he died, but he did say before he died that he had buried the satchel of gold, but he couldn't say where it was at. But it was in between the point of where he robbed the stagecoach and where the stagecoach inn is located. And it was so interesting to me how Dr. Rebecca says, I want you to see, visualize a clock. And I want you to look at the end and at this look and at this time. I won't say what time frames she was using, but she says from this time frame you'll see this item, and and I knew of that item. She says, and it's beyond that item is another item. I won't say what that item is either. And then again at another particular portion of the clock, you're gonna it's right here by this item, and that item also exists. And Rebecca has never been to Ida Grove, Ida County, around the Stagecoach Inn ever. So I'm finding myself as saying, maybe I need to go out there and do a little investigating, not paranormal investigating, but simply maybe just kind of look at these points of interest, stand at the stagecoach, and look at this clock that she put in my head, this timepiece, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, on around, and make contact with these points I'm supposed to walk to see if anything's there. And I actually invited her. I said, maybe you would like to maybe this spring go to the inn with me and just kind of walk around. She said, sure. So maybe that'll be a live stream. But I'm not going to bore everybody with this stuff right now because obviously it's just all hearsay. I don't know if there's any truth behind it. The gentleman who explained it to me said it with a lot of enthusiasm. He really has nothing to gain by telling me this. He says the whole community at one point knew about this supposed robbery that had happened with the stagecoach. I've looked up the stagecoach route, and it came from from Ida Grove to Fort Dodge, and it's basically a straight line. But the stagecoach inn wasn't on that direct line. It was like on another finger, I guess you could put it, different routes of like 5 or 6 different routes before it went to another portion of Ida County. Um, that whole twisted mess is something I've got to get into and figure out. But if this story is true and all these vantage points, which I believe are real because I've seen them, there is indeed some kind of buried lost gold that was stolen from a stagecoach back in the 1800s. So we had one person in here and now they're gone. So I didn't interest them too much in what I have to say. So anyway, I hope you're all having a good day. I'm sorry I didn't bring anything really paranormal, but I did the best I can. So until the next time, y'all have a great day and I will see you soon. Maybe next time I'll be looking for some gold. Who knows? Talk to you later.